Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news. Welcome back, baby dolls! Bitcoin, slightly green today. We're looking at $58,000. Where is the green? Well, friends, if you zoom in a lot, you see... Yeah, baby. We live for every green candle here, friends. We're looking at a $58,000 Bitcoin. Overall, if you want the dopamine hit, you have to wait for Friday, okay? Friday is the US non-farm payroll data. It is the jobs data. Now, you are probably confused because you're like, what about the kippy, the inflation data? I thought that was important. You see, friends, markets are a moving target. They are never static. They're always moving from expectations to something they don't expect. They're always moving around. You can't make one formula and expect to get everything nailed for every single move in the markets. Now, this is the Forex Factory website, and you can see we have the US payrolls coming out on Friday, okay? This is the US jobs data. Now, the forecast is 4.2%, all right? Which is interesting because the previous was 4.3%. So if this can slow down and everything can be okay, then things are going to be good. Because that means the jobs aren't cracking as fast as everyone expects, okay? So it's outside of our control, and they're probably going to rig the numbers to try win the Democrats. But I guess we'll see what happens in that regard. Now, if we go to the Bitcoin monthly chart, friends, you notice September is still red, okay? But it's not that much red. I mean, it's down, all right, 2%, but it looks garbage. But you see how in this Bitcoin halving year, we've had 1, 2, 3. Now we are on the 4th red month. Well, if you go back to the other Bitcoin halving year, okay, you have 2020. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, that was actually funny enough. Their 4th candle was a September as well. If you go back to 2016 Bitcoin halving year, you have 1, 2, 3, and I think, yeah, it just finished 3. So pretty much Bitcoin halving years, there's 4 and 4 red candles, and there's one that was a 3-month. Okay, we are on 3 so far closed. It could finish the 4th slightly green, which is obviously what we're praying for, because so far, friends, I mean, the stats are in, as we've already told you. It is now officially the worst altcoin bear market of all time. Now, bear markets, friends, some people will measure them by just how far everything drops, but you shouldn't measure it by that, because if something drops a lot, you think it's bad, but you don't know what's around the corner. So it's not a bad bear market unless the prices stay down. Then it's vicious. But actually, in the last cycle, everything recovered, right? Right now, we haven't seen anything move. The actual official time, it's like you could give it a day or a month or so. It's really hard with these things. But something big's meant to come out this month. And normally, when the fractals line up, normally a big move's about to happen, right? But we don't know the direction, yeah? It's meant to go up, but I'm just always skeptical. So this month, the data for US, it's either going to confirm the crack or tell us that things are actually going to squash the bears. Now, what would confirming the crack be? Maybe CPI is a bit hotter than expected. Maybe the jobs are going bad, that type of stuff, okay? So, but what if the other case happens? What if the stock market loves the data coming out? Well, that would be really good for crypto, wouldn't it? Because right now, friends, this is the Bitcoin dominance. And as an uptrend, I mean, this thing has gone for the longest in history, friends, about 600 days, okay? Now, this thing, when it first flipped green, look at this. It went up for like 900 days, but this was a big alt season. This was like not huge, but it was much bigger than what we had, obviously, this year. We had Soylana, some meme coins and stuff, but if you look at where the belly of the risk-taking was, it was completely tiny. And that's because, friends, Bitcoin got the money this time. Bitcoin was a black hole of liquidity, and that's explained by the Bitcoin ETF. But I know how these things work, friends. I know they suck, but look, I'm telling you now, all right, in my experience, from everything I've seen, because Bitcoin Maxis have turned into arrogant, pro-Wall Street, pro-Roca Negra, they've just become, they've lost their way, man. You can tell they're starting to lose their way. They're getting way too complacent. Go listen to the Peter McDormatt podcast, friends. I talked about it yesterday, where they're like, just like, oh, family, oh, I had to be with that guy, oh, just the way they're talking. I'm like, man, get that eggplant out of your mouth. Your jaw's gonna hurt. The way they're just talking, friends, I know how these things turn around. Like Eric Wall's curse coming. So once you've sat in my squeaky chair, I know how these things play out, friends. That's why I am forever humble. Okay, but when this thing finally turns, I'm feeling a prophecy. Because prophecies, they come to me, friends. I can't just make stuff up. Okay, they either come to me or they don't. I'm feeling that Bitcoin dominance, when it goes down, the market is going to rotate into Bitcoin too early. That's what I think is going to happen. And then we're going to get a shock later on. And that's Ethereum's 4th cycle. Okay, because it's no longer in the 3rd cycle. So, and I think people are really going to regret owning Bitcoin down there. I think a lot of people are going to get trapped. They're going to think it's all over, altcoin, and something's going to happen. I don't know what that something is. I don't know, but you know, you can't predict the narratives. Don't even bother, all right? That is, I'll like always get that wrong. You don't know, but I can feel it, man. I can feel that we get rewarded not by this biggest drop of all time, but the longest alts rotating all time. Because friends, you know when I talk to you like this, when I tell you, you know, Bitcoin is just another layer 1 chain, right? It's just like Ethereum. You don't give a shit about the consensus algorithm. You don't care, okay? Most people don't care. Most people coming in don't care. Just like you don't care where your Facebook data is stored. You know what I mean? You don't give a crap. It's Instagram. Oh, stop sharing my data. Yeah, okay, 5% of people care. 95% of people don't, and they'll still use it because everybody else uses it. You see? Now, all of this will become apparent later on, but for now, we lay waiting in the bushes. Now, baby dolls, I have some nice juicy news. PulseChain, okay, slightly green for the past 24 hours, slightly green, but the Atropa ecosystem has done huge moves, 59% rally, okay? So it's amazing to see that. And with Atropa ecosystem, remember, friends, so the PulseChain altcoins, you got to remember, who was the money base? Who founded PulseChain? It was Hex. So you got to look at the personality of a hexagon. Staunch, the #1 cult in crypto, biggest believer, 99% down, couldn't kill him, tattoos and everything, like extreme passionate cult. So the personality of that cult, which is like fighting behavior, tribal, and like attacking non-believers, that is on PulseChain, okay? So it's actually in most of the altcoins in PulseChain ecosystem. So when people come in, they have no idea what's going on. They just see a bunch of like monkey poo slinging, like people throwing out poo everywhere, right? But you have to remember it's a very loud megaphone. So Tangang have now hit the bottom of the FUD cycle, okay? They hit rock bottom. 6 months ago, Hexy Bastard and 9inch hit rock bottom. And then like in between that was Gophers hitting rock bottom, okay? Now it takes a while for these things to round off from bottom. But right now, the FUD cycle, okay, the spotlight, so you think of the top as a spotlight, the bottom is everybody hitting the FUD, and it rotates. Trust me, it rotates, okay? Everybody believes it doesn't rotate, it rotates, okay? Just like Bitcoin altcoins rotate, this rotates. Now, the beautiful part about PulseChain is we know all the people. We have an edge. And they don't like abandoning stuff. We don't like abandoning stuff, friends. We love them. That's what we want. In all these other ecosystems, Soylana, man, they abandon stuff. The Bitcoin, which is the new dog we've had, is down 92%. Joe Biden abandons. They don't really believe in that stuff. They don't actually believe, okay? In PulseChain, people believe. Now, what you're seeing now is, obviously, pDAI and the Atropa ecosystem are now back in the spotlight with the alien coin. That's nice, okay? So they might lead up. The other things stay cheap. And then eventually when things are going to rotate around, they will rotate around. Don't try betting on it. Don't think that you can sell one and get into the other. I just like holding everything, man. Just hold everything and just enjoy it. So we'll see. Now, what's going on in, obviously, the rest of crypto? Look, it's all coming down to here, friends. This is literally it. You see this? Shout out to Blockchain Backer for this chart. It's judgment day now. We're literally right at the critical point. This is September. Things have to move now. Do you remember, friends, I was talking about others BTC for August? Yeah, the altcoins are unfortunately lagging, which I'll show you now. And they are right here. So this is the altcoins, friends. Yeah, altcoins, see where they're meant to be. Look at the fractal where they're meant to be. So yeah, that sucks. But look, we still have all of next year, man. We still have all of next year. So, well, look, you can't really make up your mind completely because others BTC, this includes a lot of junk as well. You know, so even though the index might lag as a whole, I guess if you're doing right contrarian stuff, you end up winning. And don't forget, everybody in Soylana thinks it's their whole cycle. Man, look, going based off the past, in 12 months from now, no one's going to be talking about Soylana. That's what should have happened in the past. When you have peak belief and peak love and peak affection and all these, man, just roll forward 12 months, people move on to the next thing. You already saw how quickly Tron sucked away 40% on the Soylana retention. So these things happen, friends, and that's why when you're in the PulseChain ecosystem, people don't leave. When pDAI went down, when the Atropa ecosystem went down, no one was like leaving and abandoning. They're staying in there. Okay. Now you're watching Tangang, friends. Tangang gone down. 9mm, all these other stuff happening. Peak FUD. They're not leaving. Same as 9-inch. Same as Gophers. They're not leaving. They're still there. That's what you want. All over crypto, friends. You're plagued by abandoners. Just people who abandon stuff most of the time. Your job, I guess, as a crypto researcher with me is to figure out how fluffy is your microphone. How fluffy are your slippers? All right? How fluffy are those slippers? And if they are fluffy and they're going to stay there, you have a chance, not guarantee, we have a chance that we do well in a bull market. Now, ultimately, you want some pump music, and so do I. Why aren't we exiting? Look, friends, we could always get destroyed in 5 seconds, of course, but the Coinbase App Store ranking is 413. Okay, it peaked in like March this year at like rank 34. So hit 34, down to 413. You know, part of my exotic top signals is that it hits number 1, you know? So we're waiting for that moment. It worked in 2017 top. It worked in all these others. Look, I've got a feeling when that happens, no one's going to listen to it. No one's going to care. It's going to happen because we've had the most hated altcoin cycle of all time. So I guess we'll see. But you never know, friends. Look, we could get faked out, man. Like, for example, it could go and hit rank 10, yeah? And then we have a mini bear market next year where altcoins drop 50 to 70%. And then they finish off at the end of next year again. And then it goes and hits rank 1. And that's like your cue not to get out. That's also a possibility out here. But if we maintain just a rational mind, okay, we can ignore the soy boy FUD. You see? So that's pretty much what we're waiting for. It's one of the exotic top signals that we're looking out for. And if you've seen my thumbnails, friends, you have believe here. Believe with a nice green button. That's why I make my thumbnails so they look like you can just click him. Clicky. Crypto value is derived from a sticky community that believes. So yes, that's the critical thing about crypto value. That's what network effects are, okay? Same as gold, friends. Gold only has value. Why? It's because people believe in it. They like what it looks like. They wear it as jewelry. They've been wearing it for thousands of years. They've always liked it, and they will always like it, you see? It's the same thing in crypto. Look, here's the thing. Anybody can wear a piece of jewelry, right? You can wear copper jewelry. You can put a spoon on your necklace. You can get seashells. Anybody can wear jewelry, right? But there's only one gold, you see? Gold network. People want the gold one. Okay, well, in crypto, it's the same thing. Anybody can launch a coin. Anybody can launch a trash JPEG coin on Pump Fun and get rugged and scammed. Anybody can go do that. Anybody can launch a web page. Anybody can launch a business. Anybody can launch a social media page. Anyone can do these. You can make a Twitter account. Who cares? Okay? It's the community and the effort, the proof of work that makes it special, right? You're generating demand. We're lured into this energy part. That's what we want. Okay? So that's what ultimately separates good crypto that survives from the ones that don't make it. Now, part of our job here is summoning green candles, friends. You see right here, this is us summoning green candles. We are going to summon it. You know, 1 year ago, I still remember we did it again. We literally had a summoning circle, and we're going to do it again. Whoa. We're just trying to summon these green candles, because that's what it takes. But ultimately, we know it's all coming down to that global liquidity index. You know, because right now, man, I mean, like, I don't know, man. It looks like everything's about to fall off the cliff. It does, friends. But it's still ticking up, man. There's still printing money. They're ready. You know they're ready, man. They're ready to pump that hundreds of billions of dollars right in and try and make this election really close as a seesaw between Kamala Krampus and Orange Man Good start to pump up. Look at these, friends. So 53% Trump to 46% Krampus. So deep state rigging is not enough. Trump is ahead by 7% now. They could try another assassination attempt. They can only rig the election if it's close. Yes, that's very true, friends. And I don't know, I'm like a surprise, like how shocking are these policies of like 46% capital gains tax rate? Friends, you already know, with your state tax, inflation, plus your income tax, you and I, everybody's income tax rate, you're already above 50%. You're not even like conspiracy, it's actually above 50%. You're already getting destroyed. So these people raising these tax rates, they should be lowering them by like literally half. They should be lowering them. But, you know, they're trying to kill the system anyway, so do they really care what's going on? Probably not really. So I hope at least Donald Trump goes and wins, but don't forget, they're both going to print money anyway. So, like, even if Krampus wins, even if they do steal the election or whatever, like, again, whatever, you know, she's going to have to print money. Yeah, so ultimately crypto wins. Now, something that made me really laugh, friends, was Nvidia. Okay, it's down 10%. It got crushed. But then this news came out. Justin, Nvidia says we have not been subpoenaed by the Department of Justice. This market FUD is amazing because we thought only crypto experiences this level of trash. So I'm actually in shock. Like, somehow they started a rumor that Nvidia, friends, was actually getting a subpoena from the corrupt SEC, Department of Justice, whatever it is. So as you can see, so this is obviously a big move down here, dropped down 10, 12%. So here it is up here. But man, you got to check this move out, friends. Well, honestly, we picked the wrong industry. We picked the wrong industry. Since 2018, this thing goes and does a 42x. Do you want to know what that is? That is Bitcoin hitting $240,000. Nvidia did it. You had no chance to pick it, man. You had to work there. Like, it's just good. I mean, good luck to everybody there. See how random this stuff is, man. By the way, you picked the wrong stock like Intel. You're still down after 22 years. So, right. It's funny. Now, what do you do during these times, friends? Like, some altcoins, they're going to take a while to move. You don't know what's going to move first. For example, only 5 coins out of 500 from last cycle moved up to break their highs this year. Soylana, Injective, Fetch, BNB, and Floki. Okay, so you had no chance picking that. By the way, Soylana hasn't broken an all-time high in price, but market cap did, so the inflation went out. But sometimes you just use these cute little indicators and metrics to try guess when the next up move will come. And that's what I've done here on pDAI. So remember, the ticker is DAI stablecoin on PulseChain. The last time it flipped red on the weekly super trend was here, and it went for 77 days. So I went forward 77 days, and it brings us to 7th of October for pDAI. That's assuming it continues to be the first one to go up. But remember, don't fall into the trap of, see, the good thing is, friends, actually, it's still cheap, right? It is still cheap. See, it's a red weekly super trend, okay? It's not even confirmed yet. Once it's confirmed, look at it, starts to go for the up part. So it's still cheap. Just don't get this wrong. Everybody does this wrong. So they see one thing moving up first, and then they'll buy that one that keeps moving, and they'll completely ignore all the cheap stuff. But then what you end up finding out is your coin that you're moving up that's leading, it starts doing the distribution pattern for like 60 days in this period, 60 to 90 days, and you're waiting for it to move. But meanwhile, in that distribution part, the cheap stuff is like already 3x off the low. And because it was so low, it just starts gliding up 3x. You see? And then you realize you end up holding the top. You get the FUD cycle rotates on you, but then the people who are at the bottom of the FUD cycle, they start to rotate up. So look, you don't have to stress yourself too much about this. If you just want to hold one the whole way, you can do it. I just think it's fascinating that, like, look, I'll just tell you now. One thing I wish I could go back in time and tell myself is, no matter how little bullets you have, when you see something cheap, just throw something in. Just throw something in, okay? You will regret it, okay? Whenever you can see something really cheap, don't even if it's like, oh, I've just got $40, just put something in, okay? Because I still remember the few times that I didn't put something in. I'm like, but you know, I couldn't. I mean, one of them was Coinbase stock. You know what I mean? I could give you shit about that, but I'm just telling you, okay? You see something cheap, just get something in. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Like, you look at people looking at Dick with Butt and HOA and the Tangang stuff now, right? DCA, not financial advice. Just don't look at it. And just go watch the stuff going up, okay? I'm just telling you now that I have complete regrets years and years and years ago because I'm like, oh, that's good, but I'm not going to participate. Because the timing of how you think things are going to go, you never get right. You always guess, okay, this one's going to go first, this one's going to go last. I'm telling you right, no one ever gets that right. No one. Ends up being a complete random chance. Now, this is the beautiful part as well. pDAI, friends, leverage on Pulse, right? But it's 28x away just to get to the LUNA UST high, which is this line up here, which is, I think, 7 cents or so. 1.7 cents maybe. Oh, no, LUNA UST high up here. That's crazy. So 28x, friends, like, it's a big... That's not $1. Okay? Not saying $1. I'm not. We haven't got to the top. I'm just telling you, see, that's the important part, man. When you buy cheap, you don't need the big targets, man. Like, for example, if you bought Bitcoin at 15 grand, right? You don't need it at 1.5 million, do you? No, you don't need it to go up there. But if you're buying it at 250 grand, yeah, you're going to need the 1.5 million, don't you? See? So when you're buying cheap, you get the luxury of still being like healthy, rewarded if it stops earlier than everybody thinks. Now, friends, I want to show you this powerful chart, really powerful, the power of long-term holding, and look how hard it is to bet against the US stock market, man. You see all these bars? These are the forward 1 year return. See, the forward 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, the forward 31 year return, and it's the average rate. So if you go down here, okay, so in 1993, yes, in 1993, okay, the 31 year forward rate is 10% per year compounded. 10%. Okay, so if you want to know, these rates that get confusing, right? But when you see 7%, friends, remember that number. All you got to remember is the one number, 7. 7% means every 10 years you double your money. That's all you got to remember. 7%, every 10 years you double your money. So when you see like a 7 or 8% number, you go, oh, I get a 2x in 10 years, and then you get the 4x, and there's another 2, right, in 20 years. That's okay. So that's why crypto is like blowing these things out of the water. Okay, but look at these friends. Look how hard it is to find something. Look at this. There's only a few moments in history where the forward 4-year return, look at this, is -7, -5, -1. But why is that? It's because they're printing money. By the way, you want to check something out. When did they kill the US economy, friends? Right here. Okay, this is when the US economy died. And look at this. Going forward, look what ends up happening. Okay, just everything rocket. See all the green here? Green. This was 2018. They hiked rates a bit too prematurely. This was the US Fed hiking rates. So obviously, it's important to understand why. Why is there a difference between this 2008, when everything died here? Why is there a difference between the left and the right? Well, in 2008, they started dying and they did the QE. That's when they finally go, you know what? Screw the debt. We're going to do the QE. We're going to inflate everyone away. We're going to make this number go up. That's what ended up having. And let's play some Habibi Ali music for that, because when you understand that, you realize you just got to be long crypto, man. You just got to be long crypto, friends. Because look, it's funny. People who are anti-crypto will say, no, you're just a risk-on asset in crypto. Do you know what risk-on means, bro? It means they print money and the currency units just go splatter across the world. And they have to keep doing it. You know, if they don't do it, everything implodes, right? So like these people, they're laughing at somebody with like $4,000 in crypto losing all their money. And then if you're a crypto guy with $4,000, I'm telling you, you should be laughing at them, because the guys with $400 million who own like, businesses and warehouses where they employ like 40,000 people or whatever, they need the Ponzi to keep going. Because if the Ponzi doesn't keep going, there's 40,000 people. Guess what? 25,000 of them are going to rock up to their house and they're literally just going to decapitate them and change the government. Okay, because they've lost their social welfare, they've lost their the Medicare, the Medicaid, all the retirement stuff. So they've lost all their social security. Okay, so they have to keep printing the money. So like I said, friends, that's why I hope you understand. That's why I always say, man, they've made too many poor people now. I say that's the thing, man. They've made too many poor people. We have the advantage, okay? They don't. That's why we're sitting here and POV, right? POV, you bought the right pDAI. So, of course, this is all amazing stuff happening, friends. You have a pDAI plus 60%. That's beautiful. This just show you, man. It just takes one day. Boop, and everyone's like, yes, we believe again. That's why I'm hoping Pulse can do something like that. Pulse, a Spear, Pulse, PulseX, PHEX, EHEX, Inc., whatever the hell they are, all right? I really want to show you this, man. This is from Reddit. My wife constantly compares how much more karma she has than me, even though it's because she posts naked pictures of herself on Reddit. It annoys the hell out of me. So, friends, Reddit, oh man, it's just literally just cuckville. Now, I love Reddit for a lot of stuff. You play a game, you watch a movie, there's always like a cute Reddit out there. You can see people talking about it, or some TV shows, but financial advice on Reddit, man, you just can't, friends. It's so mainstream. It's so priced in. It's so priced in. There is no edge there, man. Now, for the rest of crypto, friends, it's important to remember Normies. I think Normies have sold. I mean, check this out. So Bitforce, shout out to Bitforce. He has his message from his friend Jerome. Look at this. Yo, bro, fuck this S, man. Really? I sold everything. I'm done. You see that? So my most reliable normie counter indicator just sent me this. Do with that information what you will. So I can feel it too. A lot of normies have gone out. Even friends, I was thinking to myself, this is like a signal from the universe. I'm like, man, if anyone from the family just calls about crypto, I'm like, bro, don't. Just don't. I've been telling everyone not to don't check your portfolio. I've been telling everyone, I think every month for about 24 months now. Because it's true, man. What can you do about it? You can't do anything because it's the same thing every time. When they say it go up 2x, when it goes back down the first time, there's always a conversation. By the way, I've had this conversation like 8 times now where they're like, hey, Tommy, next time it goes up 2x, I'm going to sell so I can buy back in because I've noticed it does this, right? Everyone says that because they look at a chart and they go, I'm like, okay, man, you want to risk waiting another 4 years for you to realize that was a bad mistake? Nate Silver, friends, has Trump at 58% odds to win versus Krampus at 41%. Now, Nate Silver, it's funny, he became a bit of a liberal cuck before, but he changed. He's actually a crypto guy now, which is very surprising. I was like, bro, you were part of the establishment at one point. Like, I don't know how that happened. He went from like Harvard establishment stuff to basically training it around. Now, friends, with crypto, play some angel music because what I'm about to show you, man, I hate seeing this. I hate. And it's not actually to do with crypto, friends. It's actually stocks. Walgreens is down 90%. Oh, man. So breaking. Walgreens is trading under $9 a share. Down 90% from its highs. The stock has not seen these levels since 1996. This is one of the most stunning collapses of a former blue chip retailer in recent memory. Please, baby dolls, listen to me, okay? When I learned this, I was shocked about the stock market, okay? You know all these big companies we see, the Apple, the Amazons, the Goggles, the Teslas, all these, okay? The Johnson & Johnson baby bum powder, all these, okay? The blue chippers, whatever they are. They only have a shelf life of about 25 years. They don't actually have they're not going to win for life. And guess what? That number, it used to be 45 years. So in the past 150 years, blue chips, they used to be 45, then 40. That's the average life expectancy. Then 35, then 30. Now it's down to like 25. I think some of them are down to 19 years. They're down to 19 years. I think that's the last time I saw the data. So what she's showing you is more tech's coming. It's moving at faster pace. And with the power of the internet and technology out there, companies and CEOs and people who wear fluffy slippers and just all these strategists everywhere, they're finding it faster and easier to take down the competition and chip away at what makes them unique. So basically, your edge as a company or as a human, it doesn't last as long. It's getting shorter and shorter and shorter over time. So that's why it's really important to own the stock market S&P 500 if you're in there. Now, you might be probably wondering, but sorry, we don't have an index in crypto. I know, Habibi Albi, I know, but one day we will. And when we finally get there, friends, hopefully we just get to own total. Okay, we just get to own total because owning total is saying, you know what, man, I don't know if Bitcoin's ratio is going to change to Ethereum or alts. I just want to own the whole index. And then you might have our own cute little shitty Russell 2000, which is others. Yeah, there's a different, but others obviously has the biggest growth rate, but it's obviously the extremely volatile, right? So like you can tell others, how much did others drop down? 85% in this. So that's what you want to see, okay? So just please remember that. So if they run so far in stocks, remember this, right? Just remember this, okay? Crypto is 4 times faster than stocks, right? Sweet. Okay. So if the average big blue chip in the stocks lasts about 20 years, right? What's 20 divided by 4? It's 5 years. So that means the average shelf life in crypto is about 5 years, the blue chip, the big leader. And it's about a cycle and a bit, isn't it? Which is interesting. That's what we have in crypto. We're moving 4 times faster. It's literally crack. It's literally, man, your neurotransmitters are going nuts. So that's why it's really important to bet on the index. But we don't have an index. But let's hope the fact that we don't have an index means we have big growth ahead. But I hope you understand where I'm coming from. So yeah, man, that's why I get these friends heart attacks when I see these stocks can drop 90% too. Walgreens gives back 18 years of gains. And by the way, if you adjust for inflation, it's actually down horrendously. So yeah, man, friends, that's why Warren Buffett, he's the greatest, man. He is what he was able to do for such a long period of time. He really, truly was a visionary. You know, think about all these different cycles and things happening over time. And the period he was able to basically be an amazing capital investor it's insane. Now, he hasn't been able to reproduce anything for the past 24 years because he just didn't get internet. But you know what, man? Hopefully you and me, we don't have to get whatever's cool in 20 years because you crushed it in crypto. That's what we're praying it plays out like. Until then, though, we have to watch videos like this. POV, your crypto portfolio in 2024.
Give me those.
Oh man. Oh man, you know whatever, friends, I'm having fun. Because we go through like, hey, it's all over, so now we're having fun. There's always someone who's so confused. They're like, how are you smiling right now? How are you smiling? You gotta understand, man, there's nothing you can do. You know, I know when you come in to crypto markets, you think there's a button you can press, or there's a person you can follow, or there's a leverage you can do to get yourself out of this situation. You can't. It's a cycle, man. It's a cycle. It's literally, that's why, friends, when I tell you, when it hits 11:30 at night, you're yawning, you're sleepy, okay? There's nothing you can do, man. Yeah, you could take some drugs. You could play some loud music, right? Crank some caffeine, whatever. You could do that. But as people get older, they're like, let's just enjoy being sleepy. Let's just enjoy it. Let's cuddle up, get your fluffy slippers on, get your warm little fluffy blanket, and just sleep. You see, you just embrace it. Okay, so there's a time and place for you. You have to be present in that moment, okay, whilst thinking of the future. You're like, let me rest today because tomorrow I'm going to have a nice, exciting day. Okay, whoever's in tune like that, they're the happiest, they're the most productive. You see, also, friends, all billionaires and stuff, right? They're able to, when they do all their sales and their marketing and all these others, if you notice, they know how to like switch off and then like go and focus on this attention to detail here now, and then unswitch and go back out. And people are all over the place. They usually never end up going the whole way because they don't know how to disconnect from one thing and go to the other. So in markets, we're seeing it right now. We have this down period. It sucks. Yeah, I know it sucks, man, but there's literally nothing you can do. That's why I spent all my time figuring out, why is it when you hold, you win? Why? Because you get told that, right? That's why, friends, they have that big curve. So everyone says, okay, long-term holding. And then everybody in the middle tries to like play with their portfolio. And then like the masters are like long-term holding. You see? So long-term holdings like for new people and like experienced people, 10 years. And then everybody in between just gets destroyed. All the retailers and stuff out here. So that's why I go through it so many times. The money, the debasing, the global liquidity, like long-term holding, you're letting these things, you're letting compound interest work for you, but it's inverse on the currency. It's debasing the currency. So it is working to make your portfolio position more powerful over time. It's just not linear. And that's ultimately what it comes down to. I have a scheduled post out here, friends, to show you that all this FUD, right? So this is Hex, always this FUD, because remember, friends, Hex as the number one cult in crypto, everyone would love to hate them. They're so transparent, and it's really easy to engage on Twitter and stuff out here, and there's so many of them, right? And that's why it's so easy to mark a lot of these people's messages of hate. So this was back from 2022, I think. I have a scheduled post here from a year and a half ago. Look at this. This is from Mike Alf Soy. He says, Hex is in full-scale collapse now. By the way, the price was 1.8 cents. So it's actually, funny enough, it's actually 70% lower than this. It's actually like 60 or 70% lower. But I'm just showing you all these people. Wow, Hex is teetering on precipice. It's breaking below 2 cents. It's imminent. Collapse, collapse, collapse. And look at this. And here I am telling you, soy contains isoflavones. I don't know what these are, which are converted to the body as this, similar to humans' estrogen, and occurs naturally in both men and women. So this is me obviously having some fun, right? Talking about the soy. And look at that, man. Straight from all these people going, it's over, it's over, it's over. Look at that. It has a 5x rally. By the way, it went up higher than here. It went up to 12.7 cents. So something on this scale, they eventually come up again. You just don't know when. Now, we don't know how far things will go first. Okay, because friends, you know when Bitcoin was collapsing in 2022, I'll show you now, okay? When Bitcoin was collapsing here, okay? When Bitcoin was collapsing, friends, Elon Musk sold his Bitcoin at 28,000 down here, okay? He sold his Bitcoin 28,000. There were many people, I remember like Corey Cuckstein and all these others, right? Not Corey Spaghetti Meatballs, our favorite Corey, another Corey, Bitcoin Maxi Corey Cuckstein, all these others. They were basically cheering that Elon doesn't understand it, and now he's a bottom signal, and now we're going to have the biggest rally ever. Now, here's the thing, man. We kept collapsing. In fact, it kept going down. Look at this. So from Elon Musk selling at 28,000, it goes and drops 45% for the blue chip. That's huge. That's like disaster, right? But now we're in the middle of having the greatest up rally ever, right? It's just going to take some time. So the timing part is always a difficult part. You just don't know how long it is. And now we know with altcoins, because you are on it, because you're going to get the benefit of a lot of upside, you have an extreme amount of pain and time and rinsing and all of these, right? So even it's widely known that haters of Hex are disciples of soy. They reject all forms of triumph and winning. Their socks are wet with holes. Their slippers are crumpled and their relationships are open. You see that? So it will happen again, man. It will happen again. And the curse has been lifted. But you just need some catalysts. We don't know what that is. Is it going to be the Russell 2000 with the stock market data, with Ethereum BTC, ETH BTC going up, right? With 2025 ticking over, with the Richard Hart court date. You don't know what it's going to be. If we knew what it was going to be, man, if you could predict stuff like that, you would sit on the sidelines with stable coins, wait for the news event and get in right after the news event. You just don't know. And by the way, if everyone thinking the same thing, they price in the news event before you, okay? That's why taking a long-term vision is the way to go. Check this comment out from Eye of Truth. I hate Hex because it dropped 99% because the a-holes that got in early dumped it to F. Anybody who bought soy is winning harder than everyone in Hex. Yeah, it's true, man. It's true. But remember, you're here for the forward trajectory, okay? So looking at soy BTC, which is Soylana, okay, it's a good chart, isn't it? Okay, but looking at it from here, man, okay, it's gone nowhere for almost a year, but like 9 months, okay? Literally gone nowhere for 9 months. So I know it's done well. Okay? So it's from like, from June last year up in the year. Man, it only went up a 4x, but it's not even that much. It's only went up a 4x against BTC. But I know how they feel. It's just because it's like in the spotlight. But you're thinking about the next 24 months, okay? Just to let you know, man, if think about this. If I give a soy BTC move like this, you're like, whoa, I want to own that. From today, man, that's a 2.5x. See? But it's a winner for everybody in that bear. So you're always here for the future growth, man. Looking at the past gets you nowhere, friends. We know this in crypto. Whenever everybody's celebrating something today, they just curse themselves into oblivion. We've seen that over and over and over again. It happened to Ethereum, man. Ethereum was championed as the most amazing thing in 2022 when they did the merge. It was a champion. And now just 24 months later, no one wants to touch it. So it's going to be this. So look, according to history, everybody cheered soy March this year. March 2024. Yeah, March 2025 and March 2026. Keep those eyes on date. Probably no one wants to touch it. That's what happens in crypto, man. You got to be careful. And that's why, look, when you see this, friends, not everyone gets it. No one gets it because people in markets, most people lose money. And why do they lose money? Because they're momentum chasers, because they're narrative chasers, because they buy what's green and they sell what's red. You see, they buy what everyone else is buying and they sell what everyone else is selling. But they don't believe in mean reversion or anything. They don't even know what a mean is. They believe in, I'm going to join the latest, hottest trend all the time. What they don't know is, right, it's a pendulum. They're joining the pendulum as it swings hard the other way. So crypto watcher, I will never understand why hodlers down 90% or more think it's valid to call sellers soy or stupid. We've got your money, idiots. So you see how people friends will see what they want to see. I mean, you're looking at something like this. You got to remember, man, if you look at Sol USD, you know what he's saying right now, right? Literally everything he was saying was said about soy when it was down 96% down here in December 2020. Everything he was saying about that. And then this was the 1% of coins that went up. That's why, friends, that's why a lot of people get fooled by randomness. Nassim Taleb. You got to read that book. All right, well, probably watch his presentations on YouTube. People get fooled by randomness. When something goes up, they go to the person who was talking about that narrative. They go to Ansem, and they're like, oh, you knew this was coming. What else is coming? And then they have this aura, and everything they touch turns to gold. But we know from history, in every single crypto cycle, not just markets, stock market, but crypto cycles even more, they are seasonal behaviors, seasonal strokes of luck or circumstance or opportunity, whatever the hell you want to call it, fate. It's seasonal. No one has been able to replicate it consistently. And even if they are able to, they make so much money that they stop having the will to sit through 18 hours a day of pain. Friends, just let me tell you something, right? If you weren't down, maybe you wouldn't be looking at your portfolio now and trying to figure out, hey, is there something new? Do I have to be sharp? If you had, let's say you had 800 Bitcoin. Let's say you literally had like $40 million sitting in crypto. You wouldn't be spending all your time dealing with this pain. And even if you were here, you wouldn't feel the pain. You would just be like, oh, well, just got to wait. Because you got $40 million, man. A 2x is another $40 million. You see? But when you have $4,000, you gotta go through the trenches, right? So that's why these people, they leave the hunger zone. And once they leave the hunger zone, it's available for us. Okay, but here's the thing, man. When people start winning, they think, oh, I've got the Midas touch. I got everything right. No, man. Let's say, friends, let's say everything does the reverse. Let's say Richard Hart does force an old season. All these things happen. You never know, man. My YouTube, it could jump to hundreds of thousands of followers. People coming in like, oh, get everything. He was right. They start sifting through all my videos out here. And I'll be the first one to tell you, hey, man, I don't know in the next bear market if I want to sit here 18 hours a day. I don't know that yet. I'll try, but I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to actually see the psychology and the heartbeat and the soul of the retail or investor and everybody coming in the next cycle, right? By the way, what I'm talking to you about is very advanced because I'm already self-aware. What's happening today is going to be completely useless in 3-4 years. But you see there's a difference, right? I'm self-aware. Everybody else who's hit a stroke of luck, they didn't think it's a stroke of luck. They think it's a stroke of skill. Let me show you something, friends. The last thing I'll show you. AI, right? Ass intelligence, artificial intelligence. Everybody said, it's the greatest. It's the greatest. I picked it right. Okay, well, this is Fetch. Congratulations. Okay, Fetch, friends. Fetch AI. Look what it did. This is amazing, right? It literally did I think a 60x from the low. Congratulations, yeah? 60x from the low. Everybody in AI, and by the way, I spoke to a lot of you. And by the way, a lot of them were commenting under my Twitter. Congratulations to you. What was I saying? I was like, congratulations, man. I think you should take some profit into like ETH or something. They completely didn't want to hear that part because I was saying, I go, bro, like, you've won this season. I don't think you've won the whole cycle. Once again, drunk of Euphoria. What ends up happening, friends? Okay, now you are stuck with everybody else. Down 80%. Can you believe that, by the way? It literally comes all the way up here and it comes back down. So, just showing you, see how AI, NVIDIA, everything was amazing? You really got to think about that, right? Fooled by randomness. A lot of people are actually totally fooled by randomness. You really got to have an appreciation for that. That's how you actually win in this game. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you in the next one.